Many people search for that picture-perfect holiday experience. The smiling photos, the warm meals, the idea that this season can magically fix everything. But there's an uncomfortable truth few want to discuss. Often, the people who know you best are the very ones who leave you feeling most worn out. Every year, when the holidays roll around, you sense it, that invisible weight settling in your chest. You enter a home filled with loved ones and suddenly find yourself acting like a person you thought you'd left behind long ago. So why does this occur? Why do the people who raised you, love you, or grew up with you take more out of you than any stranger ever could? Let's explore that. When you're with family, you don't arrive as the person you are today. You walk in as your former self, the identity formed before you truly knew who you were. Perhaps you were the quiet one, the responsible one, the emotional caretaker, the peacekeeper, the overachiever, the one who never spoke up, or the one who always seemed to need assistance. These roles were given to you before you even knew you were being cast. And each holiday, the instant you re-enter that familiar space, your mind goes on autopilot. You slip back into that old role, even if you've grown beyond it for 10 years. This is why going home feels like a trip back in time, not in a nostalgic way, but in a psychological one. You aren't actually drained by your family. You're drained by the outdated version of yourself that they still recognize. If you've ever been at a family gathering and felt a surge of irritation out of nowhere, here's the reality. It's not without cause. Being around those who saw your earliest struggles brings up unresolved emotional debts. The childhood disagreements, the apologies never given, the times you bottled up your feelings to keep the peace, the small letdowns that piled up and shaped who you are. Your body remembers what your mind has tried to forget. That's why a single offhand comment, a joke about your career, a comparison to a relative, a remark about your appearance or life choices can make your chest tighten as if you're a teenager again. You're not reacting just to the words. You're reacting to the entire history of unspoken emotions behind them. No wonder you feel exhausted. You're carrying decades of silent stories into a single room. Every family has what experts call an emotional atmosphere, a set pattern for how energy flows between people. Some families are loud and expressive. Others are quiet and avoidant. Some pretend everything is perfect when it clearly isn't. Some mask conflict with excessive politeness. Some use humor to deflect tension. Some turn every discussion into an argument. The issue is this: when you step into this atmosphere, your nervous system doesn't just notice it. It syncs up with it. If the energy is tense, your body soaks it in. If it's chaotic, your mind works overtime to cope. If it's emotionally flat, you make yourself smaller. You end up managing the mood of the room instead of simply being yourself in it. This is why you feel completely spent after just a few hours. You've been subconsciously fine-tuning your behavior the entire visit. During the holidays, there's an expectation of peace, unity, no conflict, and no boundaries, just perfect harmony. So you put on a holiday persona. You laugh at jokes that aren't funny to you. You answer questions you'd rather avoid. You tolerate comments that would make you leave in any other situation. You act like you're fine because you don't want to spoil the celebration. This isn't genuine connection. This is an emotional performance, and performing is utterly draining. Holiday fatigue isn't merely physical, it's psychological work. You're not tired because you spent time with family. You're tired because you spent time editing yourself around family. There's another aspect people seldom mention. When you see relatives after a long time apart, your mind instinctively starts comparing your path to the path they expected for you. Your accomplishments versus theirs. Your decisions versus the family's unwritten rules. Even small things, a cousin purchasing a home, a sibling launching a business, an uncle sharing a political opinion, can trigger a deep internal review of your entire life's direction. It's not envy, it's identity friction. You're not comparing lifestyles, you're comparing entire realities. and that mental cycle drains your energy far more than any conversation. Every family has unfinished stories. The disagreement that never truly ended, the person you're still upset with, the boundary someone repeatedly crosses, the topics you dodge because you know they'll start an argument, the secrets everyone quietly agrees to ignore. This underlying strain doesn't vanish during the holidays, it just goes under the surface, but your nervous system detects it. Your body knows when a room is filled with quiet history, and carrying that awareness, even silently, is exhausting. Here's what hurts the most. When you grow, when you evolve, when you change your life, you hope your family will see the new you, but people rarely update their mental image of who you are. To them, you're still the character they learned years ago, the familiar script, the recognizable identity. So every holiday becomes a psychological tug-of-war, the person you have become versus the person they remember. Being stuck between those two versions of yourself is one of the most depleting experiences a person can have, not because anyone is at fault, but because personal growth requires room to breathe, and family gatherings often squeeze that room down to the size of a single living area. So why do you feel so drained around family? Because the holidays demand the one thing the human mind finds most difficult: holding multiple versions of yourself in place all at once. The child you were, the adult you are now, the identity they expect, and the person you are still becoming. Your brain isn't designed to switch between these roles effortlessly, so it does the only thing it can: it burns energy. This isn't a sign of emotional fragility or being antisocial or a lack of love. It's simply human psychology. Perhaps this exhaustion isn't proof that something is wrong with you. Maybe it's just evidence that you've grown beyond the spaces you once had to shrink yourself to occupy. And maybe the most honest question to ask this season isn't, "Why am I so tired?" but rather, which version of me still lives here? And am I ready to let that version finally rest? If this perspective resonated with you, consider supporting the channel. A like, a share, or a subscription helps create more content like this. Thanks for watching.